Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some super awesome, super indulgent triple chocolate brownies. I'm also going to be sharing with you some of my pro tips that's going to get you those perfect no-fail brownies every single time. Let's get baking. Start off by running through our ingredients. Half cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, half cup of butter, 3 eggs, half a teaspoon of coffee powder, a pinch of salt, 1 cup of dark chocolate chips, 1 cup of white chocolate chips, 1 cup of walnuts, and finally 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I've also attached this on the description box below. As a first step, let's prepare our baking tray and preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. I'm lightly buttering my pan and lining it with butter paper, but you can also swap the butter paper and dust your pan with some all-purpose flour. That's just fine. Moving on to the next step, let's prepare our batter. We start by combining our sugar and butter in a bowl. We just want to lightly combine this too. And here I'm going to give you my pro tip number 1. Swap your white sugar with brown sugar. Brown sugar has molasses and hence it's going to give you that beautiful gooey texture to your brownies. If there's one tip you follow this one. Now I'm going to add my eggs. Next, in goes our vanilla. We're going to give this a good mix, and that brings me to pro tip number 2. Beat your eggs and sugar well to get a good crusty top. So the good shiny crusty top, that's what this is going to give you. But just make a note, you don't want to overbeat it because that's going to cause your brownies to rise and then just fall flat. So just beat it until you see a nice pale yellow color. Next, we're going to combine our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So I'm adding my all-purpose flour and my cocoa powder. Next goes the coffee powder and the salt. The coffee powder is really optional, but it really helps to bring out that chocolatey flavor in your brownies. Now you want to give this a good mix just until it's all well combined. You can even sift your mixture, but I'm just going to stir it and mix it with a spoon. So this looks like it's well done, and now I can combine it with my earlier mixture of eggs and my butter and sugar. And in goes my dry ingredients. Now I'm just going to mix this together until well combined. So I'm just going to use my spatula, and that brings us to pro tip number 3. Do not mix this batter. Over mixing at this stage is going to make your brownies rock solid. So you want to make sure you just want to lightly combine the ingredients together. So I'm just going to give it a final mix just to make sure it's all well combined. And that should do. This brings us to our step number 3 to assemble the batter with chocolates and walnuts. Now I'm going to spoon out half the brownie batter into the baking tray and spread it out as evenly as I can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're going to add in our white chocolate chips and the walnuts. You can swap the walnuts for almonds or cashews, but I think walnuts go beautifully with brownies. Now this is where it gets more interesting. I'm going to add my dark chocolate chips and combine it with my brownie batter. Give this a good mix. And now we're going to spread this out as the top layer of our brownie. Spread this out as evenly as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that brings us to our last and final step, is to bake for 30 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. This also brings us to our pro tip number 4. Bake until you still have a few sticky crumbs on the toothpick. You don't want to wait until it's completely clean, because that's going to give you a very dry brownie. If you follow these super simple instructions, your brownie should be looking shiny and crusty, and it should be smelling like heaven. I'm just going to pull this out once slightly warm, and then I cut it out roughly into squares. These can last in the refrigerator for up to a week, that is if you have any left to store. If you've enjoyed this video, show some love by hitting the like button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel by hitting the bell icon. Let me know what else you'd like to see on the comment section below. Until next time, it's me, Dhivya, signing out.